Hello everyone. This video will discuss masking techniques in exposure. We will use border markers to quickly create detailed selections. This video uses our advanced photo editing and organizing application, Exposure. You can download the demo of Exposure for free from our website if you don't already own it. The selection tools are flexible enough to use however you'd like, but the first tool you use to create the initial selection will set up the workflow for adjusting it. Each of the selection tools do the same thing in a little different way to give you control over various content. When selecting objects with defined edges, border markers are a very effective way of creating a selection. They can quickly make masks with lots of detail with minimal effort. Click the border marker tool and then brush over the entire object. When doing this, try to cover the whole thing. Then add an include marker to designate the object. Depending on the object you're selecting, you may need to add more markers to include everything. Markers can be a dot or line, or you can freely brush within the object. And you can always revisit markers in Exposure to make adjustments to them independently. Markers can come in all shapes and sizes. For example, they can be very small when working with intricate selections. Tiny markers may select too much area, so you may need to fine-tune the placement to work better with the object. Selections can be refined using a mixture of techniques. Another way to improve the selection you've made is with the color constraints. You can specify the hue, saturation, and luminance values you wish to select in the image, and remove those you don't want from the selection. For example, you can easily select the highlight values or the shadow values of a specific object to apply separate edits. This would be a good way to either remove color casts or tints, or add your own creative toning to the photo. Once a selection is made, it can easily be duplicated to save time. In the Layers panel, right-click, select Duplicate Layer, and then make adjustments to the new layer. You can invert the selection to quickly apply a separate color tint that complements the first one. When masking an exposure, the mask preview options at the bottom of the panel can be used to change how you visualize the selection you're making. This is especially helpful for objects with hard edges, where you don't want any haloing around the selection that can show effects where they aren't wanted. Experiment with different modes, such as using transparency rather than a color overlay, to see which mode works best. It's a different way to visualize the selection without modifying the image's tones. The masking selection tools in Exposure are simple to use and flexible, so you can keep your focus on creating beautiful images. That completes this demonstration on making border marker selections in Exposure. Thanks for watching. You can learn more about Exposure over on our website, exposure.software. If you'd like to see more videos about using Exposure or our other software titles, subscribe to our channel on YouTube.